Welcome to the Bodhi Academy. My name is Shrutika, and today let us study a new chapter, uh, Plant Growth and Development from class 11. So we all know that growth and development are the essential criteria wherein it helps a individual to live, and this criteria indicates that a person or any organism is living or not. So in plants also there is growth which takes place. So today in this chapter let us learn how the growth in plant occurs and what are the phases of growth and what is responsible, which are the cells or which are the tissues which are responsible for growth in plants. So in plants we know that we know that there are roots, stems and leaves, flowers, fruits and seed, and this arises in orderly manners in plants. That is, we know that these parts arise in plants. So how these parts of plants grow? So the sequence of growth is plant completes their vegetative phase to move into the reproductive phase, in which flowers and fruits are formed for continuation of life cycle of the plant. So the development in the sum of two processes, growth and differentiation, intrinsic and extrinsic factors controls the process of growth and development in plant. So growth is permanent or irreversible, increasing in dry weight, size, mass or volume of cell, organs or organism. It is internal and extrinsic in living beings. So in plant, growth is accomplished by cell division, increase in cell number and cell enlargement. So in plants what happens is, in plants there is continuous division of cells. This division of cells increase the cell number, and increasing the cell number the tissues are formed, and this will help in the cell enlargement, which helps in the enlargement of the tissues, and overall the tissues will form different various parts of the plant, which will help in life processes which takes place in plant. So growth is a quantitative phenomena which can be measured in relation to time. So in a particular time the plant has grown to a particular height. So this is how growth can be determined in plant. So plant growth is generally intermediate due to the capacity of unlimited growth throughout the lifespan. So meristematic tissues are permanent at a certain locality of the plant body. So in plants there are tissues named as the meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissues are a particular type of tissues which are responsible for continuous division of cells, and it continuously divides and redivides to form new cells, and this new cells further divides to form tissues and then further divides to form the organs and other parts of the plant. And this is how meristematic tissues are responsible for the growth of the plant cells. So the plant growth, in which new cells are always being added to plant body due to meristematic cells, is called as open form of growth. So in plants, now this is the phases of growth in plants. So we know that plants, these are the seeds in the plants. So this is the seed. So at the time, so plant grows from germination. So this is the seed which has germinated. So after germination, what happens is the plumule will form the root system, and radicle will form the shoot system. So after certain time, with time, the seed germinates, and then with respect to time it grows into a new plant with root system and with the shoot system. And how these roots and shoots we get is through the division of the meristematic cells. Okay. So these are what? This is how the meristematic cells helps in the growth of the plant. So over here in this diagram, what we can see is how the meristematic tissues are responsible for the formation of root and the shoot. Okay, so this is this part we can see over here. This part represents what? This part of the diagram represents the root system. So how in roots the meristematic tissues will form the root system? So here what happens is there at the tip of the root tissue there is root apical meristem. So meristematic tissue, we all know that it is a dividing tissue. It will continuously divide to form what? New cells to form the root system. So likewise it will form new cells over here, that is at the root apical part, and it will continuously form, and then it will form the root system. It will continuously divide. This root apical meristem will continuously divide to form the root system. Similarly, in the shoot system, what will happen is this part represents what? This part represents our So this part represents our shoot system. Okay, in shoots also there is shoot apical meristem. So this will again form tissues. Over here it will continuously divide and redivide, and then it will help in forming the shoot system. So this is how growth in plant takes place, through the shoot apical meristem and through the root apical meristem. So basically in plant the root system and the shoot system has to be formed. Okay, so this is formed due to the shoot apical meristem and the root apical meristem. So the root apical meristem and the shoot apical meristem are responsible for the primary growth and elongation of the plant body along the axis. Intercalary meristem. So intercalary meristem. So if this is the shoot apical system, and if consider this as the root apical system, the tissues which are present at the nodes are called as intercalary meristem, and this are located at the node. Okay, node region, as in if this is a stem, the region between the two axillary point is called a node point. So this node produces bud and the new branches in the plant. So this will help in the lateral growth of the plant. So intercalary meristem will help in lateral growth of the plant. So this is how growth in plants takes place. So now how growth is measured. Okay, so now we will see how growth can be measured in plants. At cellular level, growth is the increase in amount of protoplasm. It is difficult to measure the increase in amount of protoplasm, but the parameter used to measure growth is increase in fresh weight, dry weight, length, area, volume, and the cell number. All parameters are not used for every kind of growth. Okay, so the parameters used for growth depends on the kind of growth in the individual. So first phase of growth in plant is the formative phase. Okay, so formative phase. So this is the first phase of growth in plant, that is the formative phase. Also it is called as the phase of cell formation or phase of cell division. So this is the first phase of growth. It occurs at root apex, shoot apex, and other regions having meristematic tissue. The rate of respiration is very high in the cells undergoing mitosis division in formative phase. So in formative phase, mitosis division takes place. That is, the number of cells, the growth of cells, the division of cells is is very rapid over here, as the meristematic tissues at the root apex and the shoot apex continuously divide. So this is also called as the phase of cell formation or phase of cell division, wherein the mitosis takes place in the formative phase. So formative phase is the first phase in the growth of the plant. Second phase is the phase of enlargement. So the newly formed cells produced in the formative state undergoes what? Enlargement. Enlarging cells also develops vacuoles that further increase the volume of the cell. So cell enlargement occurs in all directions with maximum elongation in conducting tissues and fibers. So after the cell division, what happens is the phase of enlargement takes place, that is the cells increase in volume. Okay. Now comes the third phase, that is the phase of maturation. So in the phase of maturation, the enlarged cells develop into special or particular type of cell by undergoing structural and physiological differentiation. Now first we have seen the cell divides, then the cell enlarge. Then in the third phase, that is maturation, the cells will be matured into their individual type. Okay, so that they can do their individual function. So this will happen in the maturation phase. After the cell undergo maturation phase, what happens is so these are the phases of growth in the plant, that is the formative phase, then the enlargement phase, and then the phase of maturation. After this, what we can do is we can measure the growth, and the growth rate is basically the increase in growth per unit time is called the growth rate, and growth rate may be arithmetical or geometrical. Okay, so what is growth rate? Growth rate is basically growth. Okay, growth in time, in per unit time. Okay, at a particular time, what is the growth? Okay, so first, if the seed is at a germinating state, after 2 days, okay, after 2 days, that is 48 hours, what will happen? You will get the plumule and you will get the radicle. Then after another 5 days, what you will get is the the seedling will start developing and the root system will be formed. So this is how the growth takes place in plant, and the growth is measured by the growth rate, that is increase in growth per unit time. So in our today's video, what we have learned is what is growth, how growth happens in plant, and how growth rate is measured. Okay, so thank you for watching today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.